Wooman Muscle 2024 Women Truckers vs. All, the impossible victory on the road. They broke all stereotypes. The roar of diesel engines echoed across the truck yard as the late afternoon sun bathed the rows of towering 18-wheelers in a golden glow. A small group of drivers milled about, exchanging casual banter over cups of lukewarm coffee. Among them, 5 women stood slightly apart, their broad shoulders and chiseled physiques setting them apart as much as their unmistakable aura of determination. These were the Iron Ladies, bodybuilders turned truckers, each with a story as heavy as the loads they hauled. Cassie, the de facto leader of the group, adjusted her cap and scanned the yard with a critical eye. Her years as a competitive bodybuilder had taught her discipline, a trait that served her well behind the wheel. Beside her was Maria, whose olive skin glowed with vitality despite the grueling schedule. Maria had left behind a troubled past in her hometown, trading broken dreams for the open road. Tall and stoic Grace leaned against a trailer, her piercing gaze suggesting she could see right through a person. Next to her, bubbly Tasha was a sharp contrast, her laughter cutting through the tense atmosphere like a breath of fresh air. Finally, there was Val, the quietest of them all, who often seemed lost in thought, but always came through when it mattered most. They'd all landed at Redline Logistics by coincidence, brought together by the company's need for drivers and their shared ability to handle the physical demands of the job. But from the start, their presence had ruffled feathers. The predominantly male workforce didn't take kindly to the idea of women, especially muscular ones, joining their ranks. Whispers turned to snickers, and pranks escalated to outright sabotage. Yet the Iron Ladies stood their ground, refusing to let the hostility deter them. One crisp morning, Cassie strode into the dispatch office, her boots clunking against the tiled floor. The dispatcher, Rick, looked up with a smirk. "Got a tough one today," he said, sliding a folder across the desk. "Route 97 through the Rockies. Weather's turning nasty. Think you can handle it?" Cassie's jaw tightened, but she grabbed the folder without a word. As she turned to leave, she caught sight of the other women waiting outside. Maria raised an eyebrow. "Rockies?" Cassie nodded. "Rockies. We'll run it together, convoy style." The team spent the next hour prepping their rigs, each woman meticulously inspecting her truck. The camaraderie among them was unspoken but palpable. They had each other's backs, no matter what. As they pulled out of the yard, the CB radio crackled to life. "Don't let the ladies slow you down, boys," a familiar voice jeered. Cassie grabbed the mic. "We'll see who gets there first," she shot back, her tone cool but firm. The Iron Ladies had a reputation to uphold. The Rockies were as treacherous as promised. Snow began to fall as the convoy climbed higher, the narrow roads winding precariously close to sheer drops. Cassie led the way, her focus unwavering. Behind her, Maria kept up a steady stream of updates over the radio, while Grace monitored the weather. Tasha's cheerful chatter helped lighten the mood, though even she fell silent as the conditions worsened. Val brought up the rear, her steady presence a comfort to the group. Halfway through the journey, disaster struck. A massive semi ahead of them jackknifed, blocking the road and creating a pileup. The Iron Ladies pulled over, assessing the situation. It was clear that no one was coming to their rescue anytime soon. Cassie stepped out into the freezing wind, motioning for the others to join her. "We've got to clear this mess ourselves," she said, her voice resolute. "Grace, check on the drivers. Maria and Val, help me with the rig. Tasha, direct traffic." Years of training had honed their bodies, and now that strength was put to the ultimate test. Together, they managed to free the jackknife truck, using chains and sheer muscle to haul it back into alignment. Grace's medical skills, honed during a brief stint as an EMT, proved invaluable as she tended to an injured driver. Tasha's infectious optimism kept the stranded motorists calm, while Val's quiet efficiency ensured nothing was overlooked. By the time they got back on the road, the sun had dipped below the horizon, casting the mountains in shadow. Exhausted but triumphant, the Iron Ladies pressed on, their bond stronger than ever. Their heroics didn't go unnoticed. By the time they reached their destination, word had spread throughout the company. The same men who had mocked them now greeted them with respect, their expressions a mix of awe and shame. In the weeks that followed, the Iron Ladies continued to prove themselves, both individually and as a team. Maria confronted her past, reaching out to estranged family members and finding closure. Grace opened up about the loss of a loved one, her stoicism softening as she allowed her friends to support her. Tasha pursued her dream of starting a fitness program for truckers, bringing her boundless energy to a cause she believed in. Val found her voice, stepping out of the shadows and into the spotlight. And Cassie, the glue that held them together, realized she didn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Their ultimate test came one stormy night on a rickety bridge over a swollen river. A collapsed section threatened to send a line of cars plunging into the icy waters below. Once again, the Iron Ladies sprang into action. Using their trucks and every ounce of ingenuity they could muster, they stabilized the bridge long enough for everyone to cross to safety. When the last car made it to solid ground, the bridge gave way with a thunderous crash, but the Iron Ladies had already pulled back, their quick thinking saving countless lives. From that day forward, they were legends. The nickname Iron Ladies became a badge of honor, a symbol of their strength, resilience, and unbreakable bond. They had faced prejudice, battled their inner demons, and triumphed against the odds. Together, they had not only conquered the roads of America, but also paved the way for others to follow. The open road stretched ahead full of challenges and possibilities, and the Iron Ladies were ready for whatever came next.